personal space! 2, get out of my personal space! 3, get out of my personal space!
I've always had mixed feelings.
Oh,
towards
frick,
the
this
kids
is
in
another
this
series I
episode,
really want to go
Operation
back and
Archive.
watch.
It goes on to tell how kids created adults and the wars that sparked in between them, with number 1 narrating it. I like the story that it tells, and I
It was so
definitely love
freaking
the
good.
homage. It would actually be kind of interesting if they went with this as a full series idea. But it's actually an episode like that 90s show from The Simpsons. You gotta take it separately from any continuity of the show to enjoy it in its own right, because there's no logical way that it could have happened. It also ends like this.
Or could they? The adults created places to imprison children called schools. And if that wasn't bad enough, they invented homework and after school.
You know what's surprising to me? Is that this was a show that they showed kids?
Slowly turning our brains into milkshakes. It's Rainbow Monkey. They're making us eat Rainbow Monkey.
They're really tasty though. Wow, we are just going deep into this, aren't we? Codenames Kids Next Door is a show that I kind of don't think would work nowadays, and I don't know why. There's something about Codenames Kid Next Door where it's a show that's like, you should hate grown-ups and teachers and all these good things for you. I just feel would not mesh well with like what today, because you know, cartoons, it went completely against everything. Like most cartoons, it's like, hey kids, you'll love school. Hey kids, you'll love this. Hey. And this one's just like, no, we're just gonna go with it.
To tell you the truth,
Oh,
I
God.
any episode where Ren gets mad.
You could have done
Even
any Ren and Stimpy
ignoring
episode.
His cute little upbringing, he is not the most sane of characters. In this episode, Ren and Stimpy get a bunch of fan mail.
Yeah.
Correction. Stimpy gets a ton of fan mail, and Ren gets none whatsoever. This leaves Ren practically distraught.
Everybody loves you. People always love the stupid one. But nobody ever loves the jerk.
Paradox! 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 In order to cheer Ren up, Stimpy
Paradox.
makes him the president
Why?
of his
Because
fan
most
club. This doesn't turn out to be
jerks
the best
are
idea.
stupid?
All the fans have only good things to say about Stimpy, and only bad things to say about Ren, which slowly makes him madder and madder at Stimpy, to the point where he's debating killing Stimpy.
Oh my gosh, the animation alone is disturbing.
Dirty president. What a joke. How they love him.
Kids cartoons, right guys?
I'd love millions.
I could end a farce with these hands.
But he's as mortal as we.
I chose
Holy
this episode
shit!
because, for one, the creepy factor goes
It
on for quite a
blows
bit
my
longer,
mind this was on
7 to 20
Nickelodeon
minutes
with all the
long.
kids
And
cartoons.
two,
It's
Ren is mad at Stimpy for something that isn't Stimpy's fault. Think about it. Your best friend wants to kill you because everyone likes you more than him. Also, there's quite the interesting visuals as the animation gets more
What
and
is
more
that?
deranged, with Ren's
Is
descent
that
into
Ren?
madness.
Is he in a box?
With these hands, I hold fate a million.
Show's genius, but it's still baffling that they got away with all that stuff.
Mental tricks.
Oh,
Quite a
frick,
fucking
Teen
thing. In
Titans!
this episode,
What?
Robin's
This
afflicted with
entire
death,
show
allows him to see,
is just
hear,
reminding
and
me of
feel
things I
like
need to go
his
back and
greatest
rewatch.
adversary. To top it off, none of Robin's
I don't
friends
necessarily
can see
hate Teen Titans
Everyone
Go,
think
but
that
every time I
Robin's
watch
obsession
this,
is leading him further and further
I
into
miss it.
madness. The imaginary fiend idea is a really interesting one, and though it's been explored many times before and in many ways, I don't think that it's been explored quite this well. We see the Phantom lead Robin further and further into what seems like madness. Him getting beaten up by a creature that can't be touched or stopped.
isn't that kind
And
of
his
just
friends
like,
wondering what the hell is going on.
I won't stop.
isn't this kind of reminiscent of Star Wars with Luke in that cave thing?
The evil that haunts every dark corner of your mind.
I don't know if I'd put that so low on the list. I feel like there's a lot more that were
Thing is fucking
more
creepy. End
disturbing.
of story. It looks like a fusion of Robbie the Rabbit
Oh,
from Silent Hill and
no!
the original Ronald McDonald. Everything about Frybo is unsettling, from the way it moves to the way it force feeds people fries. And apparently you can get away with copious amounts of blood in a kid's cartoon with ketchup. Actually, yeah, that's always been the case. But seriously, burn that
I was
thing.
made in
Fire.
Japan.
It's fucking terrifying.
Oh!
You've always hated Frybo?
Yes! You know, another thing that I
Oh,
never
for
thought I'd
frick's
seen in a
sake,
kid
how
cartoon,
many?
Actual
So many
literal
kids'
torture.
cartoons I forgot
Solitary
about.
confinement, to be exact.
Buddy,
This
it's a kid
episode
cartoon.
starts
Can't
off with
put your face
Finster
there.
fretting that none of her punishments work on TJ. He just laughs them all off. So she comes up with a new one. This is the box.
Get caught running on the blacktop, go to the box. Take cuts
Oh
from the line,
god,
go to the
this
box.
also
Anyone
reminds me of
walking
Dexter's
around
Lab.
with
I feel like
unauthorized
most
fun
of these
the
Dexter's Lab
box.
did
No
to
questions asked.
some extent.
It's laughed at first, but when TJ gets in the box,
Solitary
TJ has
confinement.
to deal with his own thoughts.
It's one of my
he
favorite
goes
episodes.
further
I
and
don't know why
further
that
into
makes me laugh
insanity.
every time I hear
Bring
it.
him out, Miss Finster.
What do you say we give him an extra 2 minutes?
By the end of it, he's completely snapped and will do whatever Finster
It's a
says
lot
in order to make
scarier,
it
in
fall.
my opinion,
Enough,
to...
Rottweiler?
Yeah, so yes, he just had enough.
This is... Oh, well, yeah, this is
Keep in
disturbing.
mind, this is
well,
who we're
fair enough.
talking about. The kid who wasn't fazed by dealing with HAL 9000. The creepy part is how thoroughly this punishment got to him.
Yeah, okay, I get it. It is disturbing. The box is a
He's
claustrophobic nightmare,
traumatized
because
by
he
the
literally
sight of
fits in the
squares,
box, and
and
it's
when
just
he's
like...
forced to deal with the prospect of going back to the box,
Me, will you? Back to the box!
No, not the box. Not the box.
Yeah, you got me there. You got me. It is disturbing when you think about it.
Tom and Jerry could get pretty cruel. I don't think anyone would argue that. But for the most part, it's kept funny. And that's a large part because both Tom and Jerry
Really?
are on an
Which
equal
one's the
fighting
disturbing one?
footing.
Oh, they could do the
Alternatively,
one
you
with the
can have a
train?
piano kill Tom,
Where
and
they
put
kill
the
themselves
part
at the
whether or
end?
not he gets into heaven into Jerry's hands, his sworn enemy, and the person he spent his entire life hunting down. If Jerry doesn't forgive Tom for everything in the episode, then Tom goes straight to hell with a demon dog and fire.
Yeah,
and
I remember
stuff.
this
But if you
episode
wanna take
all
my
too
word
well.
for it that this is one of the most messed up cartoon episodes ever made, Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, said that this was one of the darkest things that he'd ever seen. The only thing that stops it from being any higher on this list is that in the end, it's all a dream. Still, be careful of what kind of enemies you make.
Yeah,
You
I
never know what
kinda,
kind of
I don't
torment will be
know.
under
I
when it's
kinda
all
like
over. I'd also be
the,
remiss if I didn't mention the scene where they go through the various ways that certain cats have died, including 3 kittens drowned in a bag.
Oh. Even though it is kind of disturbing, it's still kind of a good message. It's like, hey, you know you could die any second now, so why even bother, like, having, like, hatred for someone? Why waste your time hating on someone when you could die any second now? Not worth wasting your time over. So to that I say, good job, Tom and Jerry. You taught old Hobo Ryan that if he fucks up one more time, that devil dog's gonna bring him into the doghouse. Not again, officer! Not again! Here we go! Here's one of my choices.
Sorry, dude, you lose again. I'm not going with you.
This episode legitimately scared the shit out of me as a kid.
One of the most difficult parts of this list was separating nostalgia from shows and episodes. I've
This
seen
is
multiple
really
times.
hard because
Some Ramses might have been freaky as all hell when I was a kid. The let's call it charm hasn't aged the best though. And things like Freaky Fred aren't that scary to me because I've seen them a million
my friend
times.
Michelle is
However,
absolutely
there
terrified.
is one episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog that I still find frightening, no matter how
Yeah,
many times I've seen.
yeah.
The House of Discontent. It starts out typical.
The
enough,
premise
with creepy
is
voices telling you
so
everything just
disturbing.
Get out. And then having them get attacked by things like groceries and water.
Oh, wait.
When Courage breaks into
No,
the
this isn't
house,
the
they
one.
fall into the basement and come across this thing. This thing still creeps
I
me
would have
out.
went with
It's not just
the
way it
zombie
looks, but the
producers.
way it
That one
plots.
to me was really disturbing.
Spirit of the harvest
And I'm Uncle
Not
Fester.
to mention that it's fucking
But
pissed
I'm
off.
not in a
There's
good
also creepy
mood.
organ music
I woke
that
up on the wrong side of bed.
involves them either growing something or suffering the consequences. And when the consequences finally do come around, the only music that plays is the chiming of a clock. It really is a masterpiece of atmosphere. And seriously,
You
what
could
the
put
fuck-
that in most
what even
episodes
is that
of
thing?
Courage. They're
I know that
so
it's an arm that's
amazingly
going
done.
ahead, but how? How do you come to creating that thing?
by midnight. You either grow or go.
Courage the Cowardly Dog could have easily just chose simple horror tropes. Werewolves, Frankenstein. I mean, even, I was gonna say zombies, but even that, for the zombie episode, they made it unique. They didn't do just the brainless zombies. They always took everything and made it unique. And the villains are just so well done. And I don't think there ever was a point in Courage where they made a villain that wasn't interesting.
That's not important. What's important is you don't have to talk to real girls ever again. You and me can be together.
Holy shit. This is getting a little real!
Gravity Falls was holding back in Season 1. Who knew? I'll be honest, maybe this one is just me, but the whole clingy love shtick has always been terrifying, even when they try to play comedically. In fact, I don't know why this was ever used comedically. Now here's a
because
really
they
funny
can't.
thing. This episode was aired when Five Nights at Freddy's started making the rounds.
Hello, friends. Hoo-ha the owl is dead.
And it was completely coincidental. Just about everything in this episode is terrifying though, from even the concepts.
I can download your brain into the game with me.
Oh my goodness! Not through his belly button!
A lot of it is in the imagery. I mean, beyond the melty face stuff in the animatronics. Everything about Tiffany is unsettling. Mostly from the way she talks, and how quickly she flips emotions. She talks about deleting someone and trying to take control of someone's life as if it's the most
It's
darling
creeping
thing
me
in the
out
world.
because...
She doesn't require any power to function, and there's no way to escape from her, except by destroying her disc, which may or may not have worked. It's amazing how she can go from cute to terrifying in a split second. And to tell you from experience, there are people like this in the world, and you'll never really know what they're like until it's far too late.
I seem to remember someone promising to be my boyfriend.
What? Holy shit! Well, thanks. Thanks. I'm never gonna play a visual novel ever again. All my dating sim games that I play, like Danganronpa. I thought about it, and the only visual novel I play right now is Danganronpa. Oh god. Oh god, what if Sakura came into the real world?
Hey, Ronnie, it's your girlfriend. I'm coming to give you a big ol' hug.
No, Sakura, no! 1, stay out of my personal space. 2, stay out of my personal space. Ryan, you're just gonna drag that joke right in the grave, aren't you?
Have you guys ever noticed
6.
that the Powerpuff Girls was kinda screwed up sometimes? I mean,
Satan
they challenged
was in it.
Courage for how much horror that they can put
God
into a typical
dang it!
episode.
Kim,
And
don't do that!
sometimes
I
they even
felt
go
it!
beyond. The thought of your loved ones turning against you is
Oh,
terrifying, as our
yeah!
scenarios that this show took us
Yeah,
through.
this
The
was...
most screwed up episode, though, has to be Knock It Off. In this episode, the professor's old roommate, Dick Hartley,
I don't
tries
remember
to
this
take
episode at
professor's
all, and I
success
rewatched this
by
whole
making
thing.
his own Powerpuff Girls and selling them around the world to make a quick buck. Many of these Powerpuff Girls are faulty, even to the point of certain limbs falling off. They look goofy at first, but as the episode goes on, they look more and more
I don't even think I
conformed.
saw this episode. Rat Girl! Cyclops!
This actually kind of reminds me of a couple of earlier episodes, Twisted Sister to name one, where, feeling that they've got too much work, the girls create a 4th Powerpuff Girl, who, while deformed, is still just as sentient as the
Oh,
girls.
yeah.
Along those lines, there's also the Rowdy Rough Boys. Throughout this episode,
yeah.
it's hard to see the faulty Powerpuff Girls as any less sentient than the originals. Hell, at one point, Dick Hardley makes a perfect
His
buttercup
name's
and has her
Dick
melted down
Hardley?
because she was perfect. And towards the end, we see how harmful that process really was. Not to mention the infamous little part where all the faulty Powerpuff Girls turn on Dick.
You never gave us love.
You didn't ask. I seriously haven't seen an episode. That probably means there's a whole bunch of episodes I haven't seen of Powerpuff Girls.
Ah, SpongeBob.
We're finally here! You've been teasing me for freaking 20 minutes now!
Maybe at least a dozen episodes I could have gone with. I could have picked Spongehenge with its haunting melody.
Yeah, it's alright, that wasn't too...
To Love a Patty with its strange infatuation, and how it seems to be similar to Squid Baby and having one of the writers let out their fetish. Then there's Gone, which was clearly inspired by a Twilight Zone episode, and that's not even counting episodes that are creepy in a good way, like Ghoul Fools or Shanghai. But I said it once before and I'll say it again. The creepiest
Boat
episode
Buddies?
of this show to me is Boating Buddies. Why is that?
I
Well,
don't-
it seems to take SpongeBob's obsession with Squidward up to stalker levels, and not to mention there's clearly an odd
But
amount
that's
of
the
attraction from his
joke.
side. He clearly
See, I-
wants to be with Squidward for what I can only assume are his diabolical purposes. Even more so in Squid Visit, where SpongeBob seemed kind of left out of the creepiness. On top of that, this episode gives off a severe claustrophobic vibe. All of that comes from the fact that Squidward doesn't have any breathing room. But, in all seriousness, this episode is about being trapped with your stalker and the world thinking that it's just the dandiest thing ever. Many people find this episode merely annoying, and I would too, but there's just some sort of uncanniness, to the point where it seems like SpongeBob is trying to assimilate Squidward.
I kind of disagree with putting that number 5. There's other episodes that I feel put more in the disturbing department. I don't know. I think it's just because I've watched SpongeBob so long that I've just kind of come to accept. Because it's kind of weird to say being trapped with your stalker that he works with and lives next to. There's a whole episode about him leaving too. He literally, there was an episode where he's like, I don't want you anymore, SpongeBob, you're out of control. And then he's like, nah, bro. I just realized squids are really assholes. I'm out of here. And then he went back. The end.
Perhaps the closest episode to breaking my Halloween episode rule, we've got the Puppet Master from
Would you guys judge me if I say I never watched Airbender?
That the theme of losing control has been quite
well, there goes all my
prominent on
subscribers.
list. Losing control of the situation, your life, or even your body. It's something that's always seemed to terrify me.
It's one of those shows that I always want to
Perhaps
watch,
that
but
some
then
inbred
I
fear
just
builds
ended
up
up
over
watching
psychological trauma, but that's another
actual
story.
anime.
This episode follows that
That's not really fair to say either.
Since the Nostalgia Critic already covered this episode fairly well in his top 11 best Avatar episodes, there really
It is
isn't
on my
much else I
bucket
have to
list.
say. But
Before
as episodes go, this is
yes,
probably
before
the
I die.
best
That's
episode
what a
on the
bucket
list
list means,
as an
right?
episode in itself.
The rats that scurried across the floor of my cage were nothing more than skins filled with liquid.
You wanna be my friend? Yeah, I do. Was it disturbing or beautiful? It was beautiful.
Like Rockos Modern Life.
Oh,
it's a really
frick,
good show,
yeah!
And has aged fairly well, despite its odd concepts.
I don't remember any of the
Some
episodes,
things
because
you
I was
shouldn't
like
put in a
5 when
kid's
it came
show.
out.
Having your main character getting seduced by someone is one of those things. When Mrs. Bighead feels like she isn't getting enough attention from her husband,
Hey,
she
it's
tries
only
to
disturbing
seduce
if you don't like
Rocco,
giant
who is
frog women.
completely innocent to the whole situation.
I like
Even when
giant
she
frog
makes him watch a documentary about the mating habits of frogs. This episode actually starts out innocently enough until about halfway through the episode.
Blammo. Ow! You can fit in there,
Rocco
girl!
ends up ripping off the dress.
Don't you like my eyes? Lovely.
And then when Mr. Bighead comes in, she kisses Rocco.
My wife in her bathrobe? Isn't it awful?
Like boating buddies, it gives off a very claustrophobic and awkward vibe. Mr. Bighead uses this as a wake-up call to do some freaky shit. End the
Oh
episode.
boy.
The plot is
Oh,
over.
no.
End the episode.
Wait, no, I
End it
gotta
now.
see! For scientific purposes, huh? You know what? Can I blame a happy married or a married couple? Bro, they ain't happy.
This episode
Having
starts
sex?
with Lovebird getting
Good for
kicked
them.
out by his wife.
I'm a lovebird.
Oh
That
boy.
was my wife, sweetie puss. Lovebird can't live without the love. I guess I'll just have to end.
You get slapped nowadays if you go up to a woman and say,
Yeah,
you're a
this
sweetie
episode
puss.
kind of starts with our main character thinking of a bunch of suicide attempts and spends the rest of the episode trying to get himself.
Oh, I
to
grossed
Sylvester
myself
in
out.
What's apparently his first appearance. Why won't Sylvester eat the bird? Because he thinks the bird is poisoned. Even for Looney Tunes, it's oddly demented to spend an entire episode with a character trying to get themselves killed.
Well,
and trying to
same
get
could be
someone
said
else
for.
to
Well,
assist
no,
with
that
their
there was a
suicide.
whole episode
Maybe
about
time
it.
has just been unfriendly to
But
it.
there is a Tom and
That's why
Jerry
I
episode
the
that ends
funniest
with
thing
them killing themselves on a train track.
No, I'd rather die first.
Number 1, here it is.
One little scare ought to do you some good.
Come on.
Alright, you guys knew from the very beginning what my
Yes!
number one would be. And don't say that you didn't. My number 1 is Dark Harvest from Invader Zim. Hey, once in a while, I gotta go with the obvious choice. There's a reason that this episode has
I
a
love this
reputation as
episode.
the most disturbing cartoon episode of all time. Or at least the most disturbing episode of Invader Zim, one of the most disturbing cartoons ever made.
You leave school grounds, it will explode.
The basic plot is that Zim is going around stealing people's organs and replacing them with stuff. It's a classic alien plot, but that doesn't make it any less terrifying.
You're a hideous blob of stolen organs.
I've been working out.
I remember
all the
that.
grotesque organs that we see spewing out. There are a bunch of kids getting attacked, and many moments of terrifying tension.
All I remember is the stupid moo thing.
From imagery to concept, Dark Harvest is the most disturbing episode from a kid's cartoon. Also, it may
Easily.
have inspired Murderer or something.
You're full of organs, aren't you?
Why, yes. Yes, I am.
And you wouldn't notice if you were, say, missing a...
So really, this entire video has done nothing but make me want to go online and find every cartoon that I forgot about and watch the whole series. But that really was a good list. I quite enjoyed it. But you know what else is disturbing? Bugs. And subscribe to my channel, leave a like down below, and write a comment down below on what you would like me to react to.